Little known fact, the phrase from the river to the sea that we hear coming out of so many anti-Israel protests from around the world actually has its roots in the Hebrew Bible itself, when God says to the Israelites through Moses what the borders of their land will be. So the phrase from the river to the sea is actually talking about the land of Israel and is actually talking about God giving that land to the Jewish people. Let's explore this a little bit further. Shalom, my friends. It's Akiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. We've been hearing it for years now, especially this past year, the phrase from the river to the sea. I don't even want to say the rest of that phrase, but you know how it ends. It's a phrase that is shouted and screamed at anti-Israel protests all over the world. And what it means basically is the eradication of the modern state of Israel, the pushing out, the kicking out of the Jews from their ancestral homeland and from their one country in the whole world. It is a genocidal chant, and we've been hearing about it for way too long. But when you look at this phrase from the river to the sea, like many historians today and many advocates of Israel today like to say, most people who chant that don't even know what they're talking about. They don't know what river it is or what sea it is. But it's very, very interesting because we know that it's talking about the Jordan River and it's talking about the Mediterranean Sea. And we actually see references to this in the Hebrew Bible itself. In the book of Numbers, when God tells the Israelites what the borders of their land will be before they even get there, as they're still wandering through the desert, through the wilderness. They're told what their northern border, their eastern border, their southern border, and their western border will be. And they're told that the eastern border will be the Jordan River as we know it today, stretching all the way down to the Dead Sea into the Arava Valley down in the south. And they are told by God that the western border of the land of Israel in which they will live will be the Mediterranean Sea. So this phrase, from the river to the sea, really has its roots in God's directions to the Israelites. He doesn't exactly say from the river to the sea, but when giving the borders, the river is mentioned and the sea is mentioned, and the land in between, that is the land of Israel. Anyone who believes in the Bible, anyone who believes in God, right, believes or should believe in the fact that from the river to the sea, the land in between was given to the Jewish people, was given to the ancient Israelites from God. This is a godly declaration. This is a godly command. And that land between the river and the sea was meant to be for the Jewish people. It's a small little sliver of land in this world. The Jewish people don't want a lot. They don't need a lot. They just need some place to call their own, to call their home, from which they can do their work in this world, right? To hopefully be a light unto the nations. And even that, so many anti-Israel protesters and activists want to take that away from the Jewish people as well. It's very interesting because if we go further back in the Hebrew Bible, we actually see when God first talks to Abraham about promising the land of Israel to his descendants. There, God has an even bigger plan for the Jewish people. That is where God states to Abraham what the borders of the future land of Israel will be for the Jewish people. And there he says, not from the river to the sea, but he says from the river to the river, from the Euphrates River all the way to the Nile River. One day in the future, that will be the borders. Those will be the borders of the land of Israel in which the Israelites or the Jewish people will live. And this won't come through conquering or through anything evil or through anything bad. It'll be God expanding the borders, right? And it will be good for everybody, right? It'll be good for everyone living between those borders. Nobody will complain. That's the future. That's the future of the land of Israel, from the river to the river. It's interesting, not from the river to the sea, but from the river to the river. So maybe we can come up with a new chant and say, from the river to the river, one day Israel will be bigger. Thanks so much, my friends. All the best and be well.